Hi there. My name is Dr. Christina Campbell. I am a functional regenerative medicine physician. I'm also board certified in emergency medicine, and I've been practicing medicine for over 20 years. And I wanted to come here today and tell you a little bit about my story. Many of you know that I am passionate about intervening at the root cause of disease and implementing some natural methods to improve health and wellness, and to reduce symptoms of disease. And in particular, I'm passionate about autoimmune disease, Crohn's, ulcerative colitis. Um, and there's a good reason for that. And that has to do with my story. So, when I was 12 years old, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease that would completely change the course of my life. At the time, I was an avid dancer. I'd been dancing since the age of 3, and it was my dream to be a dancer. That was what I wanted to spend my life doing. When I was diagnosed with this autoimmune disorder, I became so ill that I was unable to do that dream, to have that dream come true. Um, and and that's okay, because I think, it was really the universe's way of telling me that there was a different path that I was meant to take. That being said, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, which is an autoimmune disease of the bowels, of the intestinal tract, that is caused by inflammation and by the body's immune system actually attacking the gut tissue itself and destroying it. And Crohn's disease exists in the entire GI tract from the mouth all the way to the other side, and can be a very difficult diagnosis to live with. And I was lucky because I had a physician who was willing to think outside of the box at the time. And I was told at the age of 13 by a surgeon, or 2 surgeons, that if I did not have a complete colectomy done by my 14th birthday, I wouldn't make it to my 14th birthday. And at the time, understand, my 14th birthday was 2 weeks away. I was very ill. I was in the hospital. I'd been in the hospital for several weeks. At the time, there was only one medication other than prednisone for Crohn's disease on the market, and I was allergic to it already. And it was a sulfa-based medication. And so I couldn't take that medicine. I could only take the steroids. And because of how sick I was, it was their decision that without a colectomy, I would die before in the following 2 weeks. However, I was very lucky because I have parents who were very supportive of my decision and um, of my perspective. And I was also lucky to have been admitted at Shands Hospital at the University of Florida's teaching hospital in Gainesville, Florida, where I lived at the time. Go Gators. Um, and I had my parents going to my stepfather was faculty on in the medical school, in the dentistry school, and my mother was also a graduate at the University of Florida, and so they had privileges at the University of Florida library, and I had them retrieving at the medical library articles, every research article that they could find on Crohn's disease. And at the age of 13 was quite sassy and was reading these articles. And I was really concerned that if they removed my entire colon, because it was not curative with Crohn's, that I would get sick again. Now I would have no colon to absorb nutrients and to function for my health. I would have this bag where my poop would come out on the side of my belly, and I would not have the ability to get those nutrients. And when I got sick again, then what would happen? Would they take more? Would they start taking out now my small intestine? And how much small intestine can they take before I don't have any left? And at the age of 13, and knowing it wasn't curative, and knowing what they told me, at least, and what the research was saying to me, was that it was a disease I was going to have to live with for the rest of my life. And I wanted to live a productive life. I wanted to do something really amazing with my life. And I had big dreams. And I did not want to be on disability, and I didn't want to be sick for the rest of my life. And so I told the attending physician, whose name is Dr. James Serta, God rest his soul, he really did save my life. And I told him I refused to do the colectomy, but I would do anything else. If he could come up with anything else, I would do it. And so he did come up with something else. He put me on complete bowel rest, which meant absolutely nothing by mouth, for at least 6 months up to a year. He put me on hyperalimentation, which was nutrients through an IV that went directly into my chest, 24/7, and high dose steroids, and to try and desensitize me to the sulfa-based medicine. That was the only medicine on the market at the time. And for this day and age, this is the early 80s. So this is completely outside of the box thinking. And he was willing to do that for me, and he really did save my life. Not only did I make it to my 14th birthday, but I'm 50 years old now and still with every inch of my gut. So when I say he saved my life, I'm not kidding. He really did. But because of how sick I was, and because of what this experience did for me, I came to realize that we needed more doctors who were willing to think outside the box. We needed more doctors who were willing to think functionally and to come up with something different that would work, and to work with a patient on a personalized plan. And that was my first calling to medicine. Was then I realized that person needed to be me. That was now my drive, my passion. And if I survived and if I was able to get myself well, this was something I was going to help other people do. And I went all the way through medical school, and I really did suffer for 30 years of my life. I suffered, taking the standard medications for Crohn's disease, but not knowing anything about root cause of the disease, or that there even was such a thing as reversing the symptoms, or that there was such a thing as healing from that. I really didn't know. And even despite going to medical school at an osteopathic school, which is a holistic view of the body, including environment and an emotional mind, body, spirit educational philosophy, I still didn't get all the pieces I need to put it together. And in 2011, and really completely out of vanity, I was trying to lose weight after having 2 children, and I was running 10 miles a day, and I was dieting or doing what I thought was the right thing, nutritionally speaking, to get myself better, to lose weight, to improve my health. And I figured out that I was just doing everything wrong. And I hired a personal trainer. I had a trainer at the time who was this incredible trainer who had his own autoimmune disease, and he shared with me how he was using nutrition to improve his disease. And I was, and I was willing to do anything. So of course I'd done it before. Why not do it again? And so I took some of the information that he told me and I dove into the research, and I realized that, hey, the nutritional research is really strong, that there are some things that can be done from a food standpoint that I could change in my life that might actually make me feel better. And so I committed myself to doing a 90-day paleo challenge, and the first 30 days completely dairy free. Now, dairy was the hardest thing for me to give up because I really love that warm, stringy cheese, right? I just did. But I was committed to do it at least for 30 days. And if I felt like that was something I needed to continue to leave out, I would. And so I went paleo for 90 days, and I have never turned back. I've never turned back. It absolutely changed my life. My symptoms were reduced to the point where I did not have pain every day, all day long, which is what I'd been living with for over 30 years of my life. I was in pain for 30 years, all the time, every time. I couldn't drive down the road and go over a speed bump without having excruciating pain. My joints hurt. I was always foggy and struggling on so many levels. And this really gave me a lot clearer thinking. It helped me sleep better. I was losing weight like crazy. Actually, I was losing inches. I wasn't losing weight. I only lost 5 pounds, but I went from a size 14 to a size 6 in the course of 6 months of this, alongside the training I was doing. So it was a pretty incredible change. And again, I only lost 5 pounds. So it wasn't even the weight, it was the type of weight, and it was the inflammation that was really the issue. Um, and then after I found that, I said to myself, Christina, oh my goodness, there may be more. So if you didn't know this as a physician, and I kind of went through that transitional anger at my education. How come I'm a physician? I should know all of these things. Why don't I know these things? And but that was good for me because it was motivation to go and learn. And so I dove into the research. To my husband's dismay, I even was reading research articles at the dinner table because I couldn't get enough of learning everything that I could be doing differently for myself, for my family, to get myself well and to keep my family healthy. And the more things that I learned and began implementing, the healthier I became. And so where I wasn't having pain every day, but was still in a lot of pain, all of a sudden I began implementing other things in addition. And now I had whole weeks I would go through with no pain. And I know for some people that may seem um like really not a big deal, but for me, when I'd been in pain every single day, every minute of the day for 30 plus years of my life, and it was a constant pain message to my brain and me having to cope with it. This having even just a week of relief was incredible. And it wasn't complete relief, but it was where I could turn off that signal. I could get past that low hum instead of the high revved up pain that I was in before. And I was never one for taking narcotics because I have seen what narcotics and narcotic addiction can do, and I wasn't going to be that person. I couldn't take NSAIDs, Motrin, Toradol, things like that. I really couldn't take those because they made me bleed. And I'd already had multiple transfusions, blood transfusions, because of the amount of bleeding I had in my gut. So I couldn't take those. And then that left what? Tylenol. And Tylenol never did anything for my pain, but it isn't really good for your liver. And Crohn's patients have a tendency to have liver issues anyway. So I didn't use that either. And so then what was I using to deal with my pain? I was really using my brain and my sheer willpower. And that got old over time. And so when I was out of pain for a week, I thought, holy cow, maybe I can get out of pain for more than a week. And then I began, again, more research, more implementation. Holy cow, I don't have to be in pain every day. Then months would go and I wouldn't have pain except for every once in a while. And then a year would go and I didn't have pain except every once in a while. And now I don't think I've had abdominal pain, severe abdominal pain like what I lived with before for at least a year. I've been off all of my medications now for a year and a half. And I have learned so much. And in my journey, I found functional medicine, I found nutrition, I found a lot of natural methods that can be implemented in order to help your body heal itself. So the body has many, many mechanisms built into it for healing. And, we learn all about that in medical school. But what we don't learn is how to implement that, or at least when I went to school 25 something, so long time ago, we didn't learn all of how you can use those amazing biochemical systems to heal the body. We were really taught that this is the diagnosis, so this is the treatment medication. And we weren't really taught about some lifestyle factors and some other things that could be implemented by the patient to improve their health and wellness. I mean, of course, you kind of know, hey, well, you should eat well, you should eat healthy. But the problem with that concept is that the idea of eating healthy was the food pyramid. I remember learning about it in medical school, right? And the food pyramid has grains, a huge section for grains including bread and gluten was exactly what was killing me, as it turns out. And I had no idea. Along with many other things that I had to remove from my diet. But bread and grains and gluten was the biggest one. And so even the things that I did learn were incorrect and led me astray. And so I am thrilled now to know the things that I know, have been able to implement as much as I have to become a functional medicine practitioner like those who have helped me in the past, and to now bring full circle this education, this calling to medicine. to help others who have autoimmune disease, to help others who have inflammatory diseases, to help others who have issues like mine, to improve their health and to help them understand the biochemistry and the physiology. God gave me a rare gift of being able to take very complicated information and make it understandable for others in the way that I describe it or discuss it. And I am using that talent. Thank you, God. I am using that talent to help other people to understand the complex biochemistry and to understand the things that are needed to be implemented in order to get healthy. And to understand that every person who comes to the table is different. Every person is different on at least 100 levels. DNA is different between everyone. Environment is different between everyone. Stressors are different between everyone. And so no one single person is the same. And so recipe medicine, that is the standard of care in America and across the world, doesn't really work. And it doesn't work because every single person is different. Personalized medicine and personalized care is absolutely where the answers are. And understanding that 10 people can come to the table with a diagnosis, and each one of them will have a different root cause of the problem. And until you address the root cause, you can take pills, you can make changes, but until you fix the root cause of the problem, you don't fix the problem. And that is where a lot of the error and where a lot is getting missed in medicine. And that is where my focus and my passion is. So I hope that you will take some time and join me on this journey and allow me to educate you and to help you to find improvements in your health and wellness, decrease in your pain, decrease in your inflammation, and to help teach you what you need to know to help not only yourself, but your families. It is truly my dream and my passion to impact as many people as I can, to teach as many people as I can what I know, and to help ease the suffering that simply doesn't have to be going on. So again, my name is Dr. Christina Campbell. I hope that you will join me on my Facebook page, which I will link here in the comments. I hope that you will, if this is something that you would like to learn more about, I hope that you will reach out in the comments and let me know. I am always creating programs, high-level programs and lower-level programs for all walks of life to come in and gain some knowledge and make some changes. So anything that I have going on, I will share with you and let you know, and you can make a choice about what might be helpful for you and how it might improve your health. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my story. Thank you for allowing me to share. And I hope that I will get the opportunity to get to know you better and to help you improve your health and wellness. Have a great day.